All right. Hey, greetings, everybody. Pastor Tim, Martinsburg Union Rescue Mission. Glad that you're watching us here today. I'm here with Kim, and Kim is going to share with us, and Patrick, I'm sorry, Patrick's over there too. Kim is going to share with us some information and some background on the uh, Board of Realtors, who they come in and take a meal, and then we're going to talk about Rotary, and she's going to do that. But Kim, let's start with the Board of Realtors first. Go ahead and explain that whole thing.
The Board of Realtors has a community service committee that organizes fundraisers, service projects, just things. The board, one of its missions is to give back to the community in which it works and lives. And the community service committee kind of spearheads some of those efforts. So one of the things that we ended up doing a couple of years ago is we noticed that you guys had a meal takeover opportunity where we come in and prepare a meal for the guests and you guys specifically were looking for weekends. So I think our first meal was a breakfast a couple of years ago. Where we came in to brought all the food, prepared it, and served it to the guests. In order to internally raise some funds for that, we decided to hold a sponsor opportunity. So we had sponsor the eggs or sponsor the bacon or something like that. And then we also had a sponsor a plate.
Oh, that's cool.
So that, people who are, individual realtors or affiliates who might not be able to pay $150 or $200 to sponsor a main dish or a side would have an opportunity to still spend $10 a plate and sponsor a plate. And what we did was, after we purchased all the food and served the meal, any of the leftover funds we gave as a donation to the rescue mission so that they could continue to do meals for the community and whatnot.
And we appreciated that.
as we go forward. So the first one was a breakfast. And we were looking at that as, a dip your toe into the water, because breakfast, they recommended we prepare to serve 75 people. And it's like, it was a smaller bite of the apple. But once we did that, the last 2 years we've done a lunch.
Yeah, and it's been really good, actually. Very good.
And we have volunteers from the Board of Realtors. The realtors and affiliates come in and help prepare the meal, help serve the meal, and whatnot. And it's a two-pronged thing. The reason I love doing it, one, it helps out the rescue mission. But two, it gives the realtors and the affiliates an opportunity to see some of what the rescue mission does and the good that it does beyond just serving the meal. Because they get a chance to get connected and find out about other programs that the rescue mission has that, that I'm a proponent of publicizing and letting the community know all of the things that the rescue mission does.
It's quite a bit, too.
It is. Yeah. And I have a feeling myself, having started with just the breakfast, that's where I started. And then the more I've come and the more I've gotten to know about what the rescue mission does, the more a proponent I am of supporting the rescue mission in all of its programs and aspects. And that's one of the reasons why I keep coming back year after year and trying to find other ways to help support the rescue mission in all of its aspects. And especially since you've grown now, when I started, you just had the men's program, and now you've got the women's shelter.
And the families.
The family.
Yep.
So you're just, serving a broader, broader portion of the community than just the men. And not that serving the men isn't a very necessary
I know what you're
thing.
saying. Yeah.
But expanding, using your knowledge and your experience and your success and expanding that to other aspects of the community to address those. And I was so pleased when you guys were able to open the family shelter, especially.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of your folks that came also got to connect with our guys that work in the kitchen. And so every time they come, they get to meet a lot of our folks and get to know them and realize a lot of our folks have tremendous talent, skills, ability. They're not frightful. They're not, they're not scary. They're just folks struggling and overcoming some substance abuse issues and stuff like that. But I watched the folks, your volunteers, when they come in, intermingle with our folks. They have a good time. They laugh, get to know each other. So we're very appreciative of that. Now, with that, you also belong to the Rotary. Now, which Rotary? Because there's like morning, evening, afternoon. Rotary Martinsburg, Rotary Spring Mills, Rotary.
There are 4 clubs in the area.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay, there's the Rotary Club of Martinsburg, which meets at noon.
Noon. Okay.
And that's the one I belong to.
Okay.
We have a satellite club, which is the Spring Mills Club.
Yeah, I just spoke at that one.
Yeah, and they meet in the evenings. There is the Martinsburg Sunrise Club, which obviously meets in the morning. And they now have a satellite club that they're calling the Sunset Club. That's for down in the Inwood area, so South County. Yeah. So that's their satellite club. So there are 4 clubs in Martinsburg. So if you're interested in Rotary, you can go any one of the 4.
Yep.
You can find a fit. But
and Rotary's it's a great organization. I belong to when I was in Turlock, California. I belonged to the afternoon Rotary there.
Okay, well, we'll have to get you plugged in with one of the ones here.
I'll have to get another schedule.
You have 4 that you can you can choose from.
But I just want to say it was great. Made and still lasting friends. I mean, you're talking almost 10 years ago. I was involved in that. And I still got good friends from that to this day.
Yeah.
Good organization. I learned a lot. It's just a great organization.
It is a great organization. I loved it. I started about 2.5, 3 years ago. An affiliate with the Board of Realtors invited me to a meeting, and I got plugged in and heard all of the stuff they were doing, and it just is like, this is for me. Their motto is service above self. Yep. And, regardless of where you are professionally or financially or whatnot, they have an opportunity, plenty of opportunities for you to provide service, either time, talent, or treasure.
Yeah.
So, if you're one of those people that might not have a lot of treasure right now, that's okay. There's plenty of opportunities for you to serve with your time and talent.
And you get to meet people from all backgrounds.
All backgrounds. And that's one of the things I like about the Rotary. It's very diverse.
Yeah.
We have young, we have old, we have people who have been in the business community for years. We have people who are just starting out. I've been able to recruit some of our younger members for the grants committee. I chair the grants committee at the Noon Club. Yeah. We have the unenviable task this past year. You might have seen the article in the Journal.
Yeah, and Rotary, and I just want to. Rotary does give back a lot. Rotary has blessed us over the years. We were just recently given a grant, but we gave it back because we asked for a specific item, but the community. We asked for money for the box truck, and we raised the money way quicker than I thought we were going to raise it. And that was God and all that, and the generosity of the community. So the money was specifically for the box truck, so we gave that back to Rotary. And we'll come back to Rotary down the road and get that money back for something else.
Yeah. We'll look forward to next year having an application in.
But Rotary is very generous into the community, and they do a lot of giving back. And I can personally say that because I've been on the other end, not me personally, but I've been on the other end. And my daughter, I have 4 daughters. One of my daughters, my second oldest daughter, she received a Rotary grant in California to go to college.
Okay.
So Rotary does a lot, not just to nonprofits. I know you guys give a lot of scholarships.
We
You
do.
help a lot. You help a lot of young people, which my daughter was really blessed with that Rotary scholarship. Then she was able to come back and share, and she has done very well in her life and what she does. But Rotary stepped up and helped her out too. I know this Rotary has helped hundreds of kids.
We give a scholarship to, our club gives a scholarship to a senior at each of the 4 schools that we sponsor, because we have Interact Clubs, which is the high school
Yeah.
club sponsored by Rotary. And so we give a scholarship to a student at each of our schools. We also sponsor a 4-way speech contest.
Yep. And that's awesome that you do that. I mean, that's awesome.
And we've had a same young man for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive young man. Although this year he did have a run for his money.
There you go. Well, he can only do it so long, and then he moves.
Well, no, this year there was definitely a very close second.
There you go.
But she's the close second is not a senior yet, so we look forward to seeing her next year.
Yep.
But he's gone on to districts and done very well at districts. And there is a cash award that comes with winning.
Yep.
But we do that. We have our club does a dictionary project where we provide a dictionary for every 3rd grade student in this county.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that's part of it. And then the Sunrise Club has the Eastern Panhandle Reading Program, where they provide books in the spring for every 2nd grade student in the county to take home. And the combination of the two is to help promote literacy and reading and whatnot, to help build that foundation while the children are still young.
Yeah.
Build the love of reading, and with the dictionary, give them the tools to be able to improve their reading even more.
I just know I just know Rotary does a lot, and the people on there are very generous. They're very active in the community. But let me just round something up here. You're involved in the Board of Realtors. You're involved in Rotary. What has motivated you to be involved in 2 very large organizations and do the kind of work you do? What has motivated you to do that?
I've from a kid. And it's probably a credit to my parents, but we were always taught to take care of our neighbors and give back. I grew up in rural western Howard County, like before Columbia ever existed, Howard County. So there weren't a lot of organizations that did that work, but we helped each other out.
Yep.
I remember my brothers used to take our field tractor with a plow on it in the wintertime and go make money plowing driveways. But before they were allowed to make any money, there was one neighbor up the street and one neighbor on the other side where, the gentleman over here had Alzheimer's.
Yeah, he's older.
And the family up there were a daughter, mother, and grandmother. And they had a 1/4-mile driveway. And the grandmother had health issues.
Yeah.
So the requirement was that those 2 driveways be plowed for free, so that if there were health issues and an ambulance needed to come, the ambulance could get to the house. So that was part of the way that I grew up, taking care of your neighbors.
Yeah.
And then, when I got into college and beyond, it became part of me. And it was one of the churches I attended while I was in college was very focused on servant evangelism. Not preaching, but just going out and filling needs.
There you go. We call that around here servant leadership. Yeah.
Well, they called it servant evangelism, but it was the same thing. Is go out and fill a need, and then if somebody asks you why you're doing it,
Yep.
you explain to them,
Yep.
that, it's something that God put on your heart, and it's the way that you can be Jesus to the world.
Right. Love in action.
Love in action.
Yep.
And so just, it's just been a way of life for me. And when I had a special needs son, and when he started in scouting, they had the Cub Scout meetings during the school day at his special ed school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after he graduated from special ed school and was mainstreamed, I kept him in scouting, but I wasn't going to drop my special needs school son off with a scout leader who may have no clue how to deal with him and leave. So I hung around. And then I got trained as an adult leader and whatnot. So I'm still involved in scouting. I am currently the council scouting for food chair. And that's one of the things that I try and focus on. I used to be the advancement chair too, but now that my mom needs a little more caregiving, I've had to pull back on some things. But I mean, feeding the food insecure and things like that are just, if they don't have full bellies, then the kids, whether they're children or adults, they can't reach their potential.
Yep.
If they're hungry, if they don't have clothing, if they don't have the basics,
Yep.
they can't reach their full potential. Yep. So that's one of the things I do with the Board of Realtors, the Community Service Committee. I spearhead the food drives. Mm-hmm. I obviously spearhead the rescue mission meal takeover. Yeah. And those are things that are near and dear to me, and my way of, kind of connecting and giving back to the community in terms of trying to find, places where people can collaborate instead of, 5 people doing this thing and nobody doing that thing.
Yep.
So I also try and make connections. I make sure that when the Board of Realtors holds a couple of fundraisers every year, I make sure that the nonprofits that we get grant requests from at the Rotary Committee are on the nonprofit list that the Board of Realtors picks from to designate their nonprofits that they're going to fundraise for that year. And I do my best to try and make sure that we get some food in the food pantries in the community and whatnot, and support the rescue mission
and I know you do a lot, and that need is, and we coordinate with a lot of other organizations also. You know that we work.
Yeah, I know you do.
We work with everybody in many ways. Trust me. Our footprint is very large, and a lot of people come, and we coordinate with a lot of agencies, organizations, school districts, everything. Just because now we have the families, we have the children that stay with us, we have the women that stay with us. That has opened up lots of things.
Sure, yeah. It's created a need for a broader resource base.
And we also have our recycling warehouse, which that's going to end up being remodeled soon, and that's going to. We do a lot of recycling for the county that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of things are going to be happening here in the next 18 to 24 months. We're going to be doing some more expansions, good things. But we wanted to have you on. We wanted our audience to see you. We wanted our audience to hear from a person that has helped coordinate, give back, brought people in here, brought volunteers in here, different organizations. You've exposed a lot of people to the rescue mission. We're very grateful for the Board of Realtors. We're very grateful for Rotary and all the people that are involved in that. And we just wanted to bring you out here to share. People get to know Kim. Patrick, you want to let people know where they can go to volunteer?
Yeah, if you're interested in volunteering, go to the website, martinsburgunionrescuemission.com, and click on the volunteer tab that's on there. There's also information, Kim has mentioned that the Board of Realtors does that meal takeover. There's information about the meal takeover there. If you want to reach me directly, you can see the information on the screen right now. My phone number and email are right there on the screen. Shoot me over an email if you're an organization that's interested in doing a meal takeover.
And we're going to put Kim's information on the screen too. So if they want to get a hold of Kim for Rotary or the Board of Realtors, they can contact her directly.
Correct.
That would be nice. We'll have that on the screen for you too. Kim, thank you for joining us on our podcast. I mean, on our little brief video here. And folks, again, we're going to have her information on the screen. So about the Board of Realtors and Rotary. So if you want to give or join one of those organizations, you can get a hold of Kim and she can give you all that information. Kim, again, thank you so much, and thank you for your support of the mission. Patrick, thanks. And folks out there, the donors, thank you so much. You can go to MartinsburgUnionRescueMission.com, hit that donate button today. God bless you all. Until next time.